on this edition of the Self-Publishing Show.
We're all in on this industry. We're all in on indie authors, and we think the future is really bright from here.
Publishing is changing. No more gatekeepers. No more barriers. No one standing between you and your readers. Do you want to make a living from your writing? Join indie bestseller Mark Dawson and first-time author James Blatch as they shine a light on the secrets of self-publishing success. This is the Self-Publishing Show. There's never been a better time to be a writer.
Hello and welcome. It is the Self-Publishing Show with me, James Blatch.
And me, Mark Dawson.
We're starting to record these for the summer, so although this one I think will go out in a couple of weeks, we are in that area now once a year where we record in the future. At some point, you're going to be an older man during this recording process when these go out.
Well, I'll be an older man tomorrow.
True.
And yes, well, it's not my birthday yet. My birthday is
actually that's
much
next
later,
month, isn't it? At some point in the summer, you're going to be celebrating becoming 50, even though you got like 9 months to your 50, 4 months.
Yes, that's very true.
We all get older. Yes, listen. We've only got really a couple of things to talk about for this episode. We have a headline interview with Ricci Wolman, our new business partner, or part of our new business partner on Hello Books. We're going to be talking all things Hello Books and written word media, why that, I know a lot of people are interested in how that venture came about, that merger, and all will be revealed in a moment. We do still have tickets on sale for the digital conference, which is looking excellent, by the way. We're pulling that together now. That's going to be relaunched on August the 3rd and 4th. Still a chance to grab a ticket for that. If you go to selfpublishingforum.com/digital, you get all the sessions that you missed at the Self-Publishing Show live in London, plus a load of value-added things. And the value-added things are really good. So they're much more sort of practical sessions that we couldn't do on the main stage. So like how to build an author website and building your author brand and stuff like that. And meanwhile, we'll start to think about next year. We sort of left hints that we may not do it next year because we're in the middle of mired down to organisation. But the truth is, of course, we really want to put on the show for next year, and we'll make an announcement in due course about that. Okay, so Hello Books, Mark. Hello Books, Mark. Hello Bookmark. Hello Bookmarks. There's a left-wing bookshop in London called Bookmarks, isn't it? You ever walk past it? It's in Oxford Street. I always walked past it, but you can go into it. Bookmarks with an X. Clever title.
Where are you going with this? This is a ramble even by your standards.
It is by my standards. Hello Books. So Hello Books has merged with written word media, merged in kind of the technical side of things in the background, but we have not merged our audiences. Very important. The Hello Books audience is the Hello Books audience of authors and readers. We're continuing to build that. Mark and I are the ones who are doing that. But the operational side, sending emails, has been merged with WWM, and it just means that it gives authors an opportunity, Mark, at the same time as choosing Hello Books promotion, to stack their deals, which is kind of what we all do anyway. We just have to go all over the place to do it at the same time with other offerings.
Well, it's much more than that. So that's one thing that it offers. I mean, first, it's enabled us to do things that we wanted to do for ages, but weren't able to do because, well, it would have been expensive and time-consuming for us to do it. So things like allowing authors to pick their dates 12 weeks in advance, which we couldn't do before. Reintroducing 99-cent deals, which we did before, then took out for free. So we now offer free and 99-cent. We will be offering wide stores soon. So the ability to have books on Apple, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Google, and Amazon, and run deals on all of those. That will be something that we're going to be rolling out quite soon. And as you say, stacking is also something that we can do now, which enables authors to book with one or two clicks promos on places like Fussy Librarian, Hello Books, Free Booksy, Bargain Booksy, eReader IQ, and really to aggregate a fairly large audience in the hundreds of thousands sometimes, and in a convenient and I think pretty cost-effective way. So it's been fun. I mean, they're great. I've known Ricci for a long time, and I've known her husband Ferrell for quite some time as well, and met Ferrell in Vegas last year at 20 Books and just got chatting about ways we might be able to work together. And it was one of those things we were thinking about doing some stuff and wondering how we were going to get those features added to Hello Books in a way that we could manage. And just turns out that Ferrell has done all of that before, and Ricci have done all that before with their sites. And it was a very easy decision to make to work with them. And it's been a lot of fun. They're really good. Their team's excellent. We have kind of weekly catch-up meetings there where we talk about our plans for the future, how things are going, making sure that authors are getting the performance that they would expect from the deals and that readers are getting the books that they want. So I haven't really got a bad thing to say about it. It's been really, really fun to work with them.
Yeah, it has been. And I'm enjoying being freed up. The operational side was the side I built by hand in the first place. And it took a reasonable amount of manual labour to make it work every week, cranking a handle. Obviously, we knew we would automate a lot more of it as time went on. But this has been, as you say, a fast track to that. And it's freed us up to run the ads, which I'm quite enjoying doing. Finding new readers so that we authors have new readers to download our books. And believe it or not, there are hundreds joining every day. So there are lots of readers in the world who don't really know about, a lot of them don't know about these sort of services like Hello Books and BookBub and so on. So it's a race to get them signed up on Hello Books before the others. So that's it. Well, that is a taster of what we have coming now, because I have an interview with Ricci Wolman herself. As you say, as Mark says, one half of the ownership, I guess, of Written Word Media. I'm not 100% sure. There's probably ownership might go a bit wider than her and Farrell, but they are the main two people behind WWM and the brands associated with that, such as Bargain Booksy and Free Booksy. So let's hear from Ricci, and then Mark and I will be back for a quick chat at the end of the interview.
This is the Self-Publishing Show. There's never been a better time to be a writer.
Ricci Wolman, welcome to the Self-Publishing Show. I don't know, have we had you on? Yes, we've had you on very early days of the show.
Yeah, it's been a while ago, definitely pre-pandemic, so at least 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we've been going a long time. And so is Written Word Media and Bargain Booksy and Free Booksy and all these good titles, and now Hello Books. So we've got lots to talk about together. But why don't you just introduce yourself to the listeners, Ricci, a little bit about you?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks for having me on, James. As James said, I'm Ricci Wolman. I'm the founder and CEO of Written Word Media. Written Word Media is a marketing hub for authors, and we are best known for our promo sites, which you may have heard of: Free Booksy, Bargain Booksy, Red Feather Romance, New In Books, Audio Thicket, and now Hello Books on the platform.
Yeah, which is exciting. And the keenly observant will notice that you don't sound like you're from the United States of America.
That is correct, James. Although I have lived here for the better part of my life in the US, I was born and raised in South Africa, one of the British Commonwealth countries. So I have a lot in common with you all.
Yeah, on that side of things. What took you to the States and how old were you? Do you mind me asking? I'm nosy.
Yeah, no, I would love to share. I came over to the States when I was around 17. I came for college, went up in the Northeast here in the US, and then just stayed on from there, met an American, and we moved down to North Carolina, have 2 beautiful children, and this is home now.
Yeah. Don't think you'll ever go back to RSA?
Unfortunately, no. A lot of the family that I had there is now in the US or other parts of the world. My grandparents passed away a few years ago, and that was the big draw that I used to go back for. So we'll still visit, and I'm trying to plan a trip to take the kids out there. We were hoping to do it, and then the pandemic hit, so we got to figure that out moving forward. But this is where we'll be for the foreseeable future.
And my last question on this largely irrelevant topic that I'm just interested in, are you Afrikaans or English? And will your children learn any Afrikaans?
They will not. English was my first language. I did take 12 years of Afrikaans during my schooling in South Africa because I straddled the pre and post-apartheid era. I was actually in high school when Nelson Mandela was released. So incredible time in history. And but yes, Afrikaans is not my native language. And although I do have some words here and there that my kids have picked up, probably not a language that will be in their repertoire.
No, it's quite a hard language as well. I mean, yeah, everyone says yeah in South Africa, whether English or South African, don't they, for yes, which is the only...
Yes, yeah, and I still do that. So and my kids teach me endlessly about it, but then sometimes they slip and they do it too.
There you know,
yeah, it's a great word.
It is.
One to keep, yeah.
Bri and Yar, I should say they're the two barbecue.
Yeah, Bri and Yar.
Yeah, there we go.
It's all you need.
What's Bucky?
Bucky is a truck. So driving a Bucky around, that's a good one too.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, let's talk about author-related stuff now, because that's what the show's all about. Although everyone's always interested in us, I think, as well. So we have a little chat here and there. So Free Booksy, Bargain Booksy, you started this, and this was just you a few years ago, not as an author at the time, but someone who saw the market changing and developing, saw an opportunity.
Yeah, so it's almost 10 years ago now, about 9 this year. I will be celebrating a decade next year. My mom was an author, and that's really how I came to it. I was helping her self-publish her book. She had put her book on Amazon. Amazon had recently rolled out KDP Select and Free Days. She had set the book for free. I'm a marketer by training. That is what I've been doing for the past 20 plus years. And so I said, this is a great marketing tactic, set her book to free. And she got 0 downloads. And I was floored. And I thought, how could this be? And realized that discovery, regardless of the price of your book, was a real challenge for authors. And through that, Free Booksy, which was our first promo site, was born. And from there, Written Word Media has grown. Yeah.
And you've accumulated some brands along the way, and we'll talk about the Hello Books merger in a second, but the core product is basically that the brands effectively are slightly different audiences, and in one case with Red Feather, different genre, but the core product is, and we should explain to people who perhaps don't use the service yet, what the service actually provides for an author.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we're talking now about promo sites. So those are the 5 that we have, and Hello Books as well. There are others out there that people may be familiar with, like BookBub or Fussy Librarian. And what these promo sites do is they leverage the power of email marketing. Email marketing is still the most efficient way to market a product. And so the brands like Hello Books and say Bargain Booksy, what we do is we go out there and we accumulate an audience of readers. We get their email addresses. We find out what genres they like to read and on what devices. And then once we have a critical mass of readers, we then say to authors, okay, we can help get your book into the right in front of the right reader. And so authors will come and say, I want to run a promo on Bargain Booksy or Hello Books, and they will pick a day. And on that day, their book will go in the email and be sent out to the audience of readers who are most likely to purchase or download the book. So as an example, James, if you signed up for Bargain Booksy and you said, hey, I love to read science fiction books, and then an author came to us and said, hey, my science fiction book is going to be 99 cents next Thursday. Next Thursday, James, you would receive an email that only shows you that science fiction book for 99 cents. You're going to be thrilled because it's exactly the type of content you want. And so you're then going to go and download the book, discover that author, and hopefully purchase more of the books in their backlist, new releases or series.
Yeah, and that's the key thing, I think, for authors here is that this is reader discovery. And if you've got a set 3, 4, 5 plus books, that's how this really works, because you get a bit like drug dealing. You get them hooked on the first one. First one's free, and then they read through the series, hopefully.
That's correct. And, most of these promo sites are predicated on discounting the book. And the reason is that everyone loves a deal. It's part of our human DNA, right? You want to get a deal. And so if you're putting your book in front of a reader and they don't know who you are, it really lowers the risk for them to say, hey, this book is free today, or it's 99 cents, or it's $1.99. And they're then more likely to pick that up. But now you've used it as this lead magnet, as a way for them to get familiar with you so they can go on to read the rest of your catalog, to your point.
Yeah. And perhaps a more wholesome analogy than drug dealing is supermarkets that use bread as loss leaders, and they still do that. And so you do occasionally still hear authors saying, no, you shouldn't discount your books because you should value your creative here in a certain level. But actually, this is incredibly common throughout the rest of industry, is to get people in the first place, as you say, a low risk entry into your potential products.
That's exactly right. In software, the analogy is the free trial, which we've all become so familiar with. Hey, get 1 month free, and now you're on a monthly subscription, right? And how many monthly subscriptions do all of us have hitting our credit card now? But that first month was free. And so I understand the objection. You've spent a lot of time writing a book, pouring your heart and soul and hard work into it. But instead of seeing it as a devaluation, think of it more as an investment in the future of this book and the other books to come.
Yeah, and I'm doing it now. So I've written my third book, a novella, specifically for this purpose. I've taken it out of Kindle Unlimited. I've made it free on some other sites, but I've put it onto BookFunnel, and I am one of the users of your services, not just for Fuse Books, but for myself as well. So audience building, which is going to stand me in good stead in the future.
Yeah, and it's great. One of the reasons this partnership, which we'll talk about soon, is so exciting is that Mark was one of our first customers almost a decade ago, and you've been a customer. And so it's a thrill for us to actually be partnering with people who have used and understand our service so well.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Hello Books, then we can talk more specifically about the products available to people. So Hello Books, people will be familiar that Mark and I think I was the main driver for this for a year or two before we started it, simply from the basis, once I discovered BookBub, discovered the world of indie marketing, I was really surprised at how little visibility there was in the reader world. I've got friends who read nonstop on the Kindle, nonstop, never heard of BookBub. BookBub's a whale in our industry, never heard of bargain books or free books. It just felt to me like the market penetration was about 5%, and 95% of readers just didn't seem to know you could join an email list and get genuinely brilliant books sent to you for free. So I felt probably like you do with your different brands, that there's scope and there's room here for multiple firms doing more or less the same thing. So we started Hello Books, and I think you became interested. Ferrell, we should probably say who Ferrell is, became really interested in a collaboration. Do you want to talk about that then?
Yeah, so Farrell is co-founder and my husband. We run the company together. His official title is COO. And we started chatting with you all back in December about how we could collaborate on helping out with growing Hello Books and bringing it into the Written Word Media family. The vision that we have at Written Word Media is that we're trying to build the most epic theme park for authors. And so we have a bunch of rides in there that authors love, excuse me, which are the 5 promo sites that we've talked about. We also have Reader Reach, which is managed Amazon and Facebook ads for authors. We have a distribution deal with Yonder. So we're slowly putting more and more really cool rides into the theme park. And we thought, hey, we've built some great rides, but there are also other people out there who've built great rides. And one of them is Hello Books. And authors are having to come to our theme park and then drive off to the Hello Books ride to take advantage of it. So we said, wouldn't it be cool if Hello Books could be a ride within the Written Word Media theme park? And that was the beginning of the conversations back in December of last year, which has culminated in that actually happening. And now we do have Hello Books, the ride inside the Written Word Media theme park, which I think is going to benefit authors and readers incredibly.
Yeah, and if people are interested in the nuts and bolts of this, Mark and I still own most of Hello Books. You do now own a part of it, but it's more than just sticking a Hello Books link onto your website. You are taking over the operations side of it, because this is something you do so well. We had to invent it. I had to literally write the email programs in Keep, which was a kind of always a bit of a sticking plaster until we could invest in our own IT system. But there's no point in inventing the wheel twice. And it's been a brilliant, I think it was a brilliant idea from the beginning to leverage your very slick and very professional, I should say, operations side. And we've already started noticing the difference in 1 week. Readers starting to receive one email with a good selection of books rather than multiple emails for genres, which is where we were before. So already feeling the benefit, Ricci.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you all have done an incredible job of building this audience, but, running the theme park, running a promo site is actually a lot more difficult than it looks. And we have been doing this for going on 10 years. So we have custom software. We have a team of people who are specialized in this. So we're really well positioned to be able to take the burden of those operations off so that you and Mark can focus on the audience building, which is the thing that you're great at and really passionate about as well.
Yeah, I should talk about your team. It's not just you and Ferrell now. You've got quite a team. Do you have an HQ building, or you all work from home?
We are fully remote. We used to have an HQ pre-pandemic. We moved remote and found that it was actually fantastic for the work-life balance of our employees. We are all based out of North Carolina in the US, and we call our team members Wordies, and there are 15 of us total, and our team is just incredible. We've been so lucky to be able to hire people who are passionate about supporting indie authors, who are passionate about the power of books. And as you've probably come to see, James, everyone's fairly specialized in what they do, and they do it really well.
Yeah. So are Mark and I Wordies now?
You are honorary Wordies.
Honorary Wordies, there you go.
We'll send you T-shirts.
I did say I'm looking forward to the staff picnic. I don't know when that is, but we'll get on a plane for that.
Well, we've got bigger aspirations. We'd like to just fly the whole team out and do a retreat in the UK. So wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be superb. I'll search out a castle for you. Okay, so let's talk about the products a little bit. So people understand the basic offering that you've got, and now people can choose between, if it's free Booksy, some of the other promotion sites including Hello Books, if it's 99 cents bargain Booksy including Hello Books now, and some of the other sites. But really excitingly for authors, you've started to create products around multiple audiences.
Yeah, so we're calling those stacks, and this has been something that authors have been asking for a while, which is back to this idea of, if you are an author who's running a promo, you generally are running your book on multiple of these promo sites. And it is a pretty painful process. As we said, driving from one theme park or one ride to another, that doesn't sound so bad. But when you're actually creating a promo stack or trying to schedule your book on multiple sites on adjacent days, that can be really tricky. And you usually have a million windows open on your computer and you're waiting for one site to get back to you. And then if they don't have the date, your whole stack is out of whack. And so what we're trying to do with stacks is say, hey, you come to one place and we will book everything for you. And Hello Books is part of those stacks. We have some really exciting stacks with Hello Books in it. So let's just say you want to you're running a free day and you want to get the most downloads possible. We now have what's called a triple threat stack, where you'd come to Written Word Media. You would say, hey, this is the date that I want. And I want it on all three sites. And we'd put your book in Free Booksy, Hello Books, and Fussy Librarian, who is also a partner of ours. And so, that is now going to save authors a ton of time. With some of the stacks, it'll actually save you money as well. If you're a gold or platinum author with Written Word Media, you'll get 10% off of that stack. And some of the stacks we're having in the future will have a built-in bundling discount. Again, not a novel concept that we have come up with. A lot of the time you buy a lot of stuff, you get you buy a bundle, you get a percentage off. So we think that this is going to be huge for authors, and we hope that they're delighted with it.
Yeah, and I think that this is something I think our authors will be pricking their ears up at, because it's a one-stop shop. We should mention BookBub, who are the kind of the whale in this industry. They were probably around 4 years before you, something like that. I mean, they're not that much older, but in this universe we live in, that's quite a bit older.
Yes, it is. I mean, BookBub, does an incredible job. I think they were a couple of years before us. They were venture funded. They were, Josh, who runs it, I think is very smart. He took all that venture funding and just dumped it into Facebook ads. So he built a really big audience really quickly. And so a lot of authors, if they do get a BookBub, will then layer on promos with us. But one of the challenges for authors is that it's really tricky to get a BookBub. And so of authors who apply for a BookBub, I think only 10% of them actually get it. And so our hope is that by making these stacks so much more accessible to authors, you can basically aggregate all of these smaller promo sites like ours to get results that hopefully start to rival those of a BookBub.
Yeah, and I think that's where it fits into my strategy and for Fuse Books and myself, is you can apply for a BookBub, probably not going to get it, but then you did have this painful process of going around the various other sites. But having that one-stop shop, I think, is fantastic, and we're excited about that. So, in fact, I've got one coming up. Funnily enough, they did say yes, BookBub on this occasion. I have a featured deal later this month, but I then went and bought. I didn't buy the triple stack because I have direct access to Hello Books, but I bought the Free Booksy and Fussy Librarian to go with that. So that's a simple process, probably took me 5 minutes. And that's going to be a big day for this particular book, Infuse.
It sure is. It's going to be huge. And is that book, is that wide or is it in KDP Select?
It's in Select, and but it's free. It's part of its 5 days free.
That's amazing. One of the things that authors, I think, sometimes forget is that if you are in KDP Select and you run a free day, you still get paid on your KU reads. So that is a little bit of a loophole for authors that are maybe uncomfortable setting their book for free. Any reader who picks up that book on your free day who is in KU, you will still get paid out. And so we do see authors in Select who run free days see much larger payouts at the end of that month for that reason.
Yeah. And in fact, I can tell you, my first feature deal on one of my books, I was surprised to see my income go up, sort of tripled actually on the day that the thing went out, and it was free. But that's exactly what that was, of course. Visibility for the book and people going into KU and reading it.
Yep, exactly. It's, we know there are arguments are for Select and against. We're not a proponent of either of them, but this is, if you are in Select, it's a nice little loophole and a way to actually make a lot of money off of a free day.
Yeah. Now, you've mentioned membership levels in written word media. So silver and gold, is it silver or platinum? Platinum and...
It's gold and platinum.
Gold and platinum, that's it. Can you just explain what they are?
Yeah, so these are annual memberships that basically get you a VIP pass into the Written Word Media theme park. So you pay an upfront fee. For gold, it's $125 a year. For platinum, it's $250 a year. And it's really an investment in your author business, and also a way to signal like, hey, we like the theme park that you're building. We want to be part of that. And what we do is we take a lot of those membership fees and we can invest it more rapidly into continuing to build out the park. Now, as a thank you, what we have with membership is with that membership, you get 10% off everything in the park. And then there are a bunch of other perks as well. We try and give back more value to the authors who have made the investment in membership than what they actually paid out. One of those is beta access. So anytime we're building a new ride, we need a lot of feedback. So if you're a gold or platinum member, you get to try that out first. You get to give us feedback. You get to request specific rides. We also give our gold and platinum members first dibs on editorial slots. So sometimes we'll be sending out an email on any given day and we'll say, hey, we're actually missing a fantasy book for today. And we'll go and we'll look at our members and see if any of them have a fantasy book that fits the price and device demographic that we need, and we'll slot them in. So there's a lot of free promotion that comes from being a member. There are also savings on other third-party vendors out there. We know as an author within your business, you need an email provider and you're probably using BookFunnel. And so as a member, you actually get discounts across a bunch of other vendors who are not directly a written word media product. That's just to name a few. There are a bunch of perks to being a member. We launched membership 9 months ago. It's been going really well. Authors love it. So I definitely say if you're an author, check it out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving your dedication to the theme park analogy, Ricci. You're going deep with it, aren't you?
I love it. It's just there's something, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Yeah. I don't know if it's an analogy or metaphor. You're the author, so you can tell me which one it is. But we use it internally a lot. We use it externally when we're talking to partners, and it just helps people get it. Right? You can picture what we're trying to do versus when I sit here and I say, well, we're creating a product and then we're licensing products and we're partnering with products. You're like, I don't know what all that means. But when I say, hey, here's our theme park, think about, you said earlier, you all still own Hello Books. It's still your brand. It's still your baby. Yes, we have an equity stake in it, but it's akin to, Harry Potter, right? J.K. Rowling, she owns Harry Potter. She owns that brand and she licensed it to Universal. So when you go to Harry Potter World, you're going into the Universal theme park because they know how to build rides. J.K. Rowling probably didn't want to take on building her own theme park, even though I know there's the studio. And but she still owns that brand, but it brings it to so many more people by putting it into Universal. And so the same thing with Hello Books and hopefully other partners down the road is that there are great brands out there, but let's bring it into the written word media theme park so that it makes it easier for authors to access them.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a brilliant metaphor, stroke analogy, but I want to go to Hello Books land when I go there. And I think we should get polo shirts at some point, but anyway. Now, let's talk about some advice for authors who are thinking about you, because you see from the inside, you are, and I've seen this on the inside myself now, you have data coming out of your ears over at WWM. So first of all, free versus 99. Do you have any advice or any ideas for authors in trying to decide between those two types of offer?
I do, James. I would say free. If you have written a series, making book one in the series free is an incredibly powerful way to drive sales and the read through of the rest of the series. So, and none of these are hard and fast rules, but in general, free is really great when you have series or you have other backlists. So you're putting this book up for free, readers come in, but then there needs to be other things that they can discover in order for you to recoup your investment. They have to be able to purchase other books that are actually priced. So if you're an author who only has one book, I would say setting it to free in the beginning so you can garner reviews and get feedback and feed the Amazon algorithm is great. But if you keep setting it to free in the future, you might see diminishing returns because there's nothing else for readers to buy. But then once you have another book in your catalog and a third book in your catalog, you can see how the return on the investment will go up because there's so much more for those readers to buy. So free is great for spurring activity across your backlist, spurring activity for series. Free is really good at getting reviews, and free is really good at seeding the Amazon, Apple, Google Play algorithms when your book first hits the shelves. 99 cents is just a powerhouse. It's pretty much good for any scenario. Anytime you're trying to give a book a lift, you're trying to give your backlist a lift. 99 cents is the price point aside from free that will get you the most demand, that'll get you the most sales. We do put out a blog post every year. We run the data every year to look at the demand curve. And it's exactly what you would expect. You can see the highest sales at 99 cents and then they drop at 1.99 and they drop at 2.99. And it's kind of a downward slope. The higher the price, the fewer sales you're going to generate.
Yeah, and we certainly noticed the difference between free and 99 in that sense in Hello Books. When we ran 99s in the old days, they're back now. And that's something I do occasionally again hear authors saying 99 is the same as free. You don't need to go free. But I do see, and you do see, there is a significant difference in the number of clicks and downloads you're going to get.
Significant orders of magnitude, right? Like a free book, let's just say you're in a head genre like mystery or thriller, romance. A free book is literally going to get thousands of downloads, thousands. And a 99-cent book is maybe going to get hundreds of sales. If you're lucky, some of them might get, under 100. I'm just saying, if you're running the same experiment on only one promo site, if you run a free book on Free Booksy in romance, you'll get thousands of downloads. And if you run it on Bargain Booksy, you'll get anywhere from 50 to 200 sales. And a lot of that is dependent on reviews and your cover and things that unfortunately we can't control. So there is variance, but it's a market difference. We're not talking about, a few copies here and there.
Yeah. And I suppose there is some work for the authors to do. I can hear some authors shouting now saying, but the quality of a 99 cents buyer might be higher than the quality of a free buyer who serially reads free books. But if it's a good first in series, that's going to work for a percentage of the people who get it for free. Although there is something to be said. I think maybe the 99 cents people feel a bit more, they're more likely to read it for a start. And that's almost certainly true, and potentially more likely to go on and read your series. But that's not to say that overrides the benefits of those big numbers of free readers.
Yeah, I think exactly as you're saying, you get thousands of downloads and then, 10 or 20% of those people then go on to read your other books. It just comes down to the absolute numbers. But the same is true. People who purchase a 99-cent book, 100% of them aren't going to go on to purchase your next book. You do see a kind of a cliff where there's a drop off and only some percentage are going to go through. So when we run the numbers, generally authors come ahead on a free promo versus a 99-cent promo. Again, with the caveat of you have to have a catalog, you have to have other things to purchase. If you don't have other things to purchase, it's like, letting a customer into a store, giving them a free candy, but then there's no other candy to purchase. So you do need to have other things that the readers can then go on and buy so you can make money down the road.
Now, in terms of frequency, Ricci, do you have any advice for authors on how often they should do a promotion?
So we actually have a rule, pretty hard and fast rule at Written Word Media, where we will not allow you to promote within 30 days of a promotion. That's the minimum. We generally recommend that authors they can promote a title every 90 days is kind of best practice. The reason for that is we're constantly building our lists on our brands as Hello Books is building the list. So if readers have seen your book, running a promo a week later, when they've all just seen your book, you're going to see much fewer sales and your return is going to be lower. But if you wait 3 months, we've had time to replenish the readers. And so now when you run your book, there are a bunch of readers who have never seen it before. So best practice is run a promo every 90 days. That's per title. What a lot of successful authors do is that they will be running promos every month, but on different titles. Different series or different books within the series. And that's a good way to kind of keep your baseline of sales across all of your books up. But for any specific title, you don't want to fatigue the audience too much and run it too often.
Yeah. And of course, the 90 days fits in with those of us in Kindle Unlimited at KDP Select. That is the reset of your contract, which means you get another 5 days free. I guess you must see 90 days as being a fairly common application period.
Yes, it is. And and it seems to work. And again, also with the way that we replenish our audience, I think that differs from promo site to promo site. So I can only speak to us and to Hello Books specifically. We invest a lot of the revenue that comes in from authors into audience building. We're literally adding tens of thousands of new readers every single month. So that's best practice for our sites. For other sites, you might need to experiment if they're not adding readers as quickly. You might want to wait longer. But generally, it's a good rule of thumb. And as you said, it lines up nicely with the KDP Select rules and timelines.
Yeah. The other question I had is kind of do's and don'ts for doing a promo, but the big don't that I've got from my experience in Hello Books is make sure your book is actually discounted on the day that it's due to go out. I think that must be like the main thing we can both feel needs reinforcing, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a common mistake. We do have what we call reminder emails here at Written Word Media, and now authors who purchase Hello Books promos will get them as well. And we try not to be too annoying, but we will send an email, a week before and then 3 days before the promo to say, hey, remember to make sure that your book has dropped, because it's amazing how many authors forget to do that, or there's some kind of glitch with Amazon, and then the morning of they log in and the book is not priced when they want it to be. So that is one of the challenges with running a promo.
Yeah. And something I noticed being in the UK is I tend not to use if I'm on KDP Select, tend not to use the first day free, because actually it's a Pacific time, midnight, it's kind of 8 a.m. in the UK. And that, if people, depending on when your team, our team, etc., are checking prices, that can also fall foul. So my tip is get your 5 days, book your promos on days 2 to the end.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, it is here. It's 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's why, the bargain booksy email goes at 11:15, because at 11 o'clock, we're checking all the prices to see what dropped. We really do wish we aren't all on Amazon time, but that's the way that it goes. So giving yourself a day of buffer so you can kind of, sleep easy knowing, hey, my price has already dropped, and all the promos that you've paid for and the marketing you've invested in is going to go off without a hitch. Yeah.
So Ricci, the future, I mean, you and I do feel that the industry is growing, and we've seen that with Hello Books. And, again, you get the odd naysale, doom-laden prophecies that the indie bubbles burst, but that's not the impression we're getting. This is still a fast-growing part of publishing, and you are driven by indie books as well as we are.
Yes, I would say 90% of our customers are indie authors. That's our DNA. That's who we were born to serve and who we continue to serve. And it's just been incredible to watch the growth of indie authorship. It's continued to grow akin to the creator economy, and software and technology has really enabled that. We don't see that stopping at any point. We're all in on this industry. We're all in on indie authors, and we think the future is really bright from here.
Yeah, and I think in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the time where more ebooks e-readers get purchased, because we can remember the old days. I mean, my wife reads like a book a day. So we'd go on holiday for 10 days. we wouldn't get the suitcase to the airport. Books are heavy. And I can remember the Kindle coming along. It was like, she couldn't believe it. She was very against it. Not very against it, but, you know, kind of, I like a book. Everyone says, everyone loves a book. I like a book. But having 20 books on something that you can hold in the palm of your hand. So I do think this is certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, I think this is a time that next generation of people think about buying a Kindle device or another e-reader device.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people read more in the summer. We just had Mother's Day here, Father's Day is coming up, graduation, you know, and Kindle is still top of the list for gifts that go out at those times. People still love to read. You know, reading is, I know there's lots of doom and gloom headlines out there, and the youth are scrolling TikTok and reading is dead. But I have two, you know, kids, elementary and middle school, and they read an absolute fortune. And I look at the team that we have and young people that I mentor, and reading is strong. So I think it's going to be with us for quite a while to come.
Definitely. Now we've got through the Hello Books merger. We're into the sort of live stage of it. Dare I ask what's next for WWM? Do you have any, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Sounds like a job interview.
And I haven't had one of those in a long time, James.
No, you don't, well, we don't need one,
be very good at answering that question. Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to our theme park analogy, but we want to be like the Disney World. We have really grand aspirations, and we want to build something that brings joy and delights authors. Being an author, running an author business, that can be challenging. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I understand the highs and the lows. And so we want to be a bright spot in that. And so over the next 5 years, we're going to continue to build this out, continue listening to authors as they tell us what they need, so that Rinwood Media can be a place of respite and a place of joy, instead of just one more thing to slog through as part of what you have to do, the nitty-gritty day-to-day of being an author. Brilliant.
Well, I think we're all happy in this theme park, Ricci, that you've built, you and Ferrell. So well done. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for taking a chance on Hello Books. So delighted that we've got a partnership that's breathing now after a lot of work in the background that people never see, but there was a lot going on. And looking forward to the future. Thanks very much for coming on.
Great. Thanks so much, James.
This is the Self-Publishing Show. There's never been a better time to be a writer.
There you go. Ricci Wolman did start by talking a little bit about her background, South Africa to the United States of America. We're very much at home in, I think it's South Carolina. I was in North Carolina.
No, North Carolina, I think.
North Carolina,
yeah.
Raleigh sort of area. Yeah. And we are getting into the little quirks that they have behind the scenes. I don't know if I can, I don't see any reason why not say this, but they have like cameras off on Monday and Friday for meetings. I guess they're all naked on Mondays and Fridays. Must be the only explanation for that. And occasionally they all get in the office together, which is amazing in this day and age. So last time I did a Zoom call with them, I think it's one you missed. They were all sitting around a table, actually in the same room.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
In this day and age. But yeah, we don't see each other very often, do we?
Not like that. No, we don't. Even though I don't know, probably we're closer than they are, I imagine. I don't know quite how far they've been traveling.
Maybe, but we're quite a long way from each other.
That's true.
I was in London last night. I went to have dinner with Jane Diamond and her husband, James, I think is his professional name. And Jane Diamond's a brilliant romance author who does billionaire, cowboy, rock star. Oh, I don't know if she does cowboy, she does rock star. But she is a rock star and she's been doing so well. And the team, they're a team together. James does the marketing. So I had dinner with them last night. I took my wife down as well. It was really, really nice to catch up with somebody we've known quite a few years, met them for the first time in Vancouver. But we had a chat about Hello Books and these book services that authors use all the time. Talked about their growth and how they manage that. So that was very interesting. And yes, she said, do you live close to each other? So, well, you're a couple of hours the other side of Salisbury. Oh, right, you're quite close then. I'm thinking, not really.
Wow.
A couple of hours the other side of London from an hour north of London, for me, is a long way. Yeah. I won't nip it over for lunch. But I will come over for like an event, like a birthday party, as long as it's closely aligned with the actual birthday, because that's my rules.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to see about that. Yeah. No, it's I think distance, as we've said this before, for us, a 3-hour drive is a reasonably long drive, but for lots of American friends, it's the trip to the shops.
Yeah. So they would go out for dinner, wouldn't they? 3 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little different, but yeah, that's.
3 hours from here gets you into another couple of other countries.
I could probably get to Wales in 3 hours, yeah.
Oh, I think you can get into Belgium in 3 hours from here.
Oh, Belgium, yes. Yeah, probably good.
France, Belgium. I mean, that's something, talking to Jane and James, who are over from Vancouver, that they envy about Europe is all the different cultures and history and countries all within such a close range. I think it's amazing. And it made me think, Jill and I sitting there thinking, we should go to more, we've been to all of the big Western European countries quite a lot, but Eastern Europe haven't been very much over the years. And there's a lot of Europe to explore on our doorstep.
Going to Poland in Warsaw in August.
You are. Let me guess. You're going to go and see a rock band.
I am, yeah. I'm going to see Depeche Mode again. So I'm trying to persuade my 9-year-old son that he really wants to come to Helsinki with me as well. But
how many times are you actually going to see Depeche Mode
I don't
this
know,
year?
probably 5 times, I think, all in. Something like that. And then, maybe once more next year as well. So we'll see. But, that's what you do for a band with an important part in your life when you get to a milestone age.
Yeah. It's true. Aging rock stars.
When you get to 60 next year, you'll be going to see Coldplay all over the world. It'll be,
I'm not getting to 60 next year, just to qualify that. I'm a young man. By the way, I did a very pushed 5K this morning, and was quite pleased with my time. So I feel in many ways I'm getting younger.
Okay.
Or I might need some filters on this. All right.
Do you have a portrait in your attic?
Yeah, nice literary reference.
There we go.
I probably do, yes. Not of me, but of the young Carrie Fisher. That's where it stays.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, probably on that note, might be time to wind this up. All right, thank you very much indeed to our guest, Ricci, and thank you very much to Tom and Catherine and Stuart and Sarah, everybody else who helps put this podcast together. Mel, I think, as well now. Yes, thank you to the team in the background. Thank you very much indeed for listening. We will be back next week. Don't forget, you can still grab a digital ticket for the conference. You get all the conference material, everything that was said on stage, and you get some brilliant bonus episodes, including some really good practical sessions for authors. So you can sign up at selfpublishingformula.com/digital. That's it. All that remains for me to say is a goodbye from him.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Get show notes, the podcast archive, and free resources to boost your writing career at selfpublishingshow.com. Join our thriving Facebook group at selfpublishingshow.com/Facebook. Support the show at patreon.com/selfpublishingshow. And join us next week for more help and inspiration so that you can make your mark as a successful indie author. Publishing is changing, so get your words into the world and join the revolution with The Self-Publishing Show.